Okay, so I'm hoping neither of my roommates are home because I am self-conscious about being heard talking to myself. It's very rare that I'm home at my apartment by myself and the sun is out. So I thought I would take advantage and make a video. So hi. This is my face. Nice to meet you. So the only thing I have actually posted are reaction videos to the third act of the third season of Carmilla. So this will be my first video other than that. And I'm not sure what I'm trying to accomplish yet. Like I want to do like a tag or something like that because those are easy. But I feel like that's not the kind of thing you should start off making videos with. Like you need like an intro video or something. I don't know, that's just maybe that's wrong. But whatever, this is a hello video. My name is Ella and my pronouns are she, her, but I really don't care. So use any pronouns you like, but 99% of the time, she, her. Just so you know, I am from, live, and go to school in Eastern Canada. That's about all you're gonna know about that right now. Well, I guess this kind of gives a little bit away, doesn't it? In case you're American, no, that's Nova Scotia. I'm generally a more to the quiet and introverted, awkward, probably anxious person. So I feel very self-conscious at the moment. Hoping to God that I was right and that both of my roommates have left. The heck? I'm hoping the lighting is okay. If I'm really shadowed, my battery just died. It seems to have saved the last video part, so try these batteries. They probably all need to be charged. I'm just gonna have to keep alternating between them. But so as an intro, maybe we'll do an get to know me tag. What is your middle name? My middle name is Jane. What is your favorite color? I really like blues and greens. Like just in general. Who was your first best friend? My first best friend, I would say that it was probably, there was a kid who was about my age that my mom used to babysit, and he and I were pretty good buds for my younger years. How tall are you? I thought I was 5'8", and then I went to the nurse several weeks ago and she said I was 5'7", but that doesn't make sense to me because my mom is closer to 5'7", but I'm taller than my mom. I'm still feeling maybe not quite 5'8", but closer to 5'8" than I am to 5'7". Cats or dogs? Definitely dogs. Not that I don't like cats, but I'm more of a dog person than a cat person. Funniest moment throughout school? I don't like that question because I'm really bad at picking extremes. I'm bad at picking like favorite book, favorite place, most embarrassing this, most memorable that. I'm bad at that kind of thing. Can I just pass? Nothing's coming to mind, and the harder I think about it, the less likely it's going to be. Yep, we're gonna pass that question. How many countries have you visited? Well, I'm from Canada. I have been to Maine a couple of times, so that's the United States. I've been to Italy, and en route to Italy, we stopped at the Frankfurt airport. So if you're being literal, I have been in Germany, but I don't count that because we were just in the airport. We were in the airport for 5 hours or so, but we never left the airport, so I've never really been to Germany. So 3, I guess, but I'm going to Japan this summer, so soon to be 4. Are you in college? This must be an American question because yes, but I'm in university studying geography, and that's all you're gonna know. What was your favorite and worst subject in high school? My favorite subject in high school was geography. That's why I'm studying it. I also liked chemistry and sciencey stuff. Worst, probably English. I like reading, but English class just sometimes writing papers just didn't jive with the way my mind worked. So, what is your favorite drink? Now, I'm pretty partial to water. Water's a good one. If we're going pop, probably ginger ale. If we're going alcoholic, I like a good sangria. You know, sangria, white, red, I don't care. Either is good with me. What's your favorite animal? I don't know. Dogs are good. I like cows. I know, it's probably goats. I love goats. Yes, goats. What's your favorite perfume? I don't really like perfumes per se. I have asthma, and sometimes scented stuff like that just makes me feel really gross. If I had to pick a scent, it would probably be something more along the lines of vanilla, you know, something that smells more natural and less chemically created, man-made smell. Tea or coffee? Coffee. What would you name your children? I definitely want kids, at least 3. Names? I don't know. I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of boy names, to be honest, in my head. Girl names, I have a few. Like I used a few years ago, I really liked the name Annabeth. But I'm not so keen on Annabeth anymore. I do like Helen, was my grandmother's name, and Charlotte, but I have a friend named Charlotte, so it would be the decision of do I name my child the same name as one of my friends. But I'd like the name Charlotte. Trying to think of a more stereotypically boy name. I kind of really like Elliot, Elijah, maybe. I don't know. I used to really like Elijah. I'm not sure how I feel about that anymore. But yeah, I haven't thought about that in a while. My battery died again. What sports do you play or have you played? I play hockey, play intramural hockey, and I have played hockey since I was 8 years old. I used to play soccer when I was really little. I did swimming lessons, completed swimming lessons, and I played softball for 1 year in high school. Yeah. What is your favorite book? That is an evil question. How can anyone pick a singular favorite book? Like, who? It's 2:30. Probably the favorite book that I've read recently would be The Marvels by Brian Selznick, because it's beautiful. But that definitely is not my favorite book of all time. I like other books better. That's just, I'm going to say the favorite book that I've read in the past year or so, The Marvels. What are some of your favorite YouTubers? Who are some of your favorite YouTubers, pardon? The YouTubers I watch the most are Ash Hardell, and Caitlin Alexander from Realistically Saying. Also Connor Manning. But yeah, I used to watch a lot more, like a larger range, but it's mostly Ash Hardell, Elena Fender, can't forget Miss Fender, and yeah, Caitlin Alexander. Those are probably my top 3. What is your favorite movie? Again, how can you pick just one? But it would probably be How to Train Your Dragon, something along those lines. How to Train Your Dragon is definitely my top 3 movies of all time. Are you single or taken? I am in a relationship with a lovely person, and that's all you're gonna know for right now. What is your ideal first date? I don't have an ideal first date, so long as it's something that both people enjoy and kind of allows for some communication and fun. I don't really care. Favorite memory from childhood. How can I pick one favorite memory? I guess in general, probably my favorite times would be when my family would go on trips. We went on a lot of kind of little trips together to hockey tournaments, or my father would go to judge a dairy show and we'd all go together, or we'd just go over to PEI. Probably top would be going over to PEI to visit my grandfather and my aunts and uncles and cousins who lived over there. When my grandfather passed away, we kind of stopped going to visit as much as we used to, but I used to love going to PEI to visit Pappy. Do you speak any different languages, and how well? I speak English, obviously. Et je parle. My French R's are awful. Je parle un petit peu de français, mais je ne suis pas bilingue. I'm not fluent, but I'm proficient enough that I can get along. Do you have any siblings? Oh, honey, do I ever. I have 5 younger siblings, actually. So my youngest sister will be 9 this year. She's still getting so big. So yeah, I do have siblings. How would you describe your fashion sense? Non-existent. I just wear what I like the look of, what's comfortable and affordable. So I really have no, if someone was like, what's your style? I don't have a defining style. Yeah. What's your favorite restaurant? Well, in the town where I go to school, there is a little family restaurant called Patterson's, which I really like. There's also a Korean place called Songs that has really good food. And a pizza place called Joey's. And if you're from this place, you will immediately know where I go to school. Hello. What are some of your favorite TV shows? The X-Files. The X-Files and The X-Files. I also really like Steven Universe. Probably The X-Files and Steven Universe would be my top 2 right now. Oh, and The Fall. How did I forget The Fall? Good lord. PC or Mac? PC is what my family uses. I have used Macs a couple times and I did like them, but I'm most familiar with PCs. What phone do you have? It's an Android. It's some sort of Samsung something or other, Galaxy LTE or some such. Again, we've only really had Androids. Tell us one of your bad habits. I procrastinate. It's part of my anxiety. I am a chronic procrastinator, and that's really bad when it's 10 o'clock the night before your midterm and you haven't started studying yet. But again, that's a product of my anxiety. That is the get to know me tag. Hopefully all the video worked properly. You can hear me, you can see me, and it's not ugly. Hopefully no one heard me talking to myself, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll see you again. This was a time. I have to go. Farewell until we should meet again. Now, how do I outro? How does this work? Same with intro. How do things have a great day.